Hi, I'm Kara, mom of three, pediatric sleep expert, certified parenting coach, and founder of Well Rested Mama. Welcome to the Unswaddled podcast. Tune in every other week as we chat about baby and toddler sleep solutions, overcoming parenting challenges, and all things messy motherhood. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Well Rested Mama Unswaddled. This time, we are talking about a fan favorite, which is early morning wakings. Now, this is something that a lot, and when I mean a lot, like most people will end up dealing with at some point. And I think the biggest thing, or for at least me, the goal of this episode is going to be to help you understand what an early morning waking is, why it's happening, and how can we get rid of them? How can we push them out and ensure that our little ones are going to sleep past that early time frame, which is considered, let's say, 4 to 6 a.m., and really get them to that ideal wake up time every single day. So when it comes to early morning wakings, anything before 6 a.m., okay, is technically considered a middle of the night waking. So then once we get into that like later time, let's say 5 a.m., I would say is very popular. 5:30, your little one is like ready to party, ready to start their day. That is considered an early morning waking. We never want to start your little one's day before 6 a.m. When we do that, it makes it really hard to target that 12-hour day that we know they can handle. And this goes for babies. This goes for bigger kids. If they're starting their day before 6, that 12-hour mark is hitting you before 6, and they're not even had dinner. They're not even, you're not even entering the bedtime routine at that point, and their bodies are completely done and ready for bed. So then we get stuck in this like cycle of overtiredness, and that's where everything just starts to fall apart. Now, I do want to mention that it is completely normal and expected for your little one to wake between 4 and 6 a.m. This is the lightest time frame of sleep, okay? That the morning is considered, like, let's look at it this way, right? They're falling asleep at bedtime. It's taking them time to fall asleep. They're getting into that like deep sleep throughout the night. It's, coming back and forth, right? And going through those rotations of deep sleep, light sleep, but then once it hits 4 a.m., it's consistently light sleep until 6 a.m. So they are going to wake up during this time frame, and that is where we need to take a step back and identify, are they waking up? Which we know the answer is yes. However, are they going back to sleep? And that is the number one thing that we want happening. We want them waking up during this time frame, but we want them falling back asleep. And if they're not falling back asleep, that is the number one sign that they went to bed overtired that night before. Now, when I say that they're overtired at bedtime, what I mean by that is throughout that entire day, okay? Let's say yesterday, right? Your little one woke up early today. So let's take a look at yesterday. What happened? Chances are at some point during that day, they started to become overtired. This is really common with little ones that are taking more than one nap, just because you can get stuck into a routine of they're stacking that overtiredness throughout the day. They get to bedtime, they're extremely overtired, and then that early morning waking is 1,000% going to happen. Now, the older kiddos, okay, let's say they are on one nap, they still have the ability to get overtired. And what happens then is you are looking at that last wake window of the day, okay? So no matter how old your little one is, baby on more than one nap, toddler on one nap, that overtiredness is at the end of the day before bed. So you need to figure out at what point are they becoming overtired and how are we going to fix that? In order to kind of combat that with the little ones, okay, more than one nap, you need to take a step back and think, okay, could I have done an earlier bedtime? Or could I have added in an extra little cat nap to kind of catch them up on that overtiredness, to really make sure that that last wake window of the day is appropriate and it fits with what they did for that last nap, and you are able to avoid them going down overtired. If you have an older kiddo who's on one nap and that one nap isn't strong enough, okay, to support that long wake window before bed, you need to just make sure that you are targeting the bedtime to accommodate that nap. Okay, so let's break that down a little bit. Your little one's getting progressively overtired throughout the day. How are we going to fix that? For the little ones who are taking more than one nap, okay, let's say a 7-month-old, they're on a 2-nap schedule. If you're looking at the second nap, if that nap is not restorative, then you have to shorten that wake window before bed and you're going to move bedtime earlier. If that nap is restorative, you're making sure that you are not crossing over their appropriate wake window. So you're never exceeding that 3-hour wake window before bed. For kiddos who are on 1 nap, this is where you really need to identify, are they taking a good nap? Is that nap restorative? And if it is, the time that nap is ending is the time that wake window is beginning. And you never want to go over 4 hours from that time until bed. So you really want to focus on, do I have 4 hours until their designated bedtime, or do I need to move bedtime earlier in order to accommodate that? You can move bedtime earlier to accommodate that as long as you are never going before 6 p.m. And the reason for that is that just doing a bedtime before 6 p.m. is unrealistic. It sets their body up there's not enough sleep pressure and you just kind of get into a messy situation. So we never recommend doing bedtime before 6 p.m. So you always want to aim for the appropriate wake window. And if it doesn't work out, you always want to fall back to that 6 p.m. bedtime. And a lot of people will think if I put my little one to bed earlier, they're going to wake up earlier. And it's actually the opposite. When you put them to bed earlier, you're kind of making up for that lost daytime sleep, if that makes sense. And that is going to help them sleep later, which is through that 4 to 6 a.m. mark to where they are going to be able to put themselves back to sleep. Now, keep in mind, there are other factors that can play into the early morning waking. Although overtiredness tends to be the most common, the most popular, there are other things that can be playing a part. Like, let's say you are nailing the wake windows, the naps are amazing, and it's still happening. Then you kind of want to look at the bedroom. Now, I know that this can be like a controversial topic, but I truly believe in a dark sleep space. We do not do night lights if possible. We do not do red lights, whatever, any color lights that sometimes people will say, improve sleep. We turn all of those off because they are waking up, right? Like I said, they're waking between 4 and 6 a.m. And if there's anything during that light time of sleep that they can focus on and like start to see around the room or the sunlight's peeking through, they're not going to go back to sleep and they're going to start their day. So you really want to go in there during the day. Okay. I always try to tell people like 10 a.m., go in, close the blinds, turn off the lights, and like take a look around. If you can see everything, the room's not dark enough, and that could be playing a part. If you are in a position where you did go into the room, you turn the lights off, you can still see everything, you want to kind of like take some action, right? So what are we going to do? There's a lot of things you can do. There's fast things you can do. There's permanent things. I have had people use black trash bags. It's not pretty, but like it does the job. We have implemented blackout curtains, whether that is an actual curtain that secures along the sides of the wall. I personally have been known to hot glue gun liners to my windows. Whatever you need to do, just do it. I promise it makes a big difference and it goes a long way. Now, aside from that, there is a chance that your little one can be undertired, which is like great. So they're either overtired or they're undertired, like makes a ton of sense. I know that makes it confusing. How can you tell? The biggest thing is going to be they're happy in there, okay? They're laying in there, they're content, the room is black, there's nothing that they're, focused on, and they're just awake and they're happy to be awake. They're not losing their mind. They're not crying out for you. They're not crying out for anything. That is going to be the top sign that they are undertired, which means they're getting too much daytime sleep. So you want to kind of look at their age, where are they developmentally, what's their schedule looking like, and if there's some daytime sleep that you can remove from their day. If you are noticing that they are crying during that time frame, okay, then that's not necessarily going to mean they're undertired, right? It's not necessarily going to mean they're overtired either, but it might be that they don't know how to put themselves back to sleep. And if that's the case, you want to identify how are they going to sleep in the first place, okay? When you're placing them down at bedtime, are they putting themselves to sleep, okay? And that's kind of a loaded question because people will automatically think like, well, I don't rock them to sleep, so yes. But it's like, is yes the actual answer? Do they have a passy in their mouth? Can they developmentally replace the passy? Are you holding them until they're super drowsy to where they don't really care that you're leaving? Okay. Those are things that can appear to be independent sleep when really they're not, right? So if that is something that is happening when they wake up during those early morning times, they can't put themselves back to sleep without your help, right? So that is where the sleep crutch is coming into play, and it's affecting their ability to do that. So if that's the case, you want to focus on independent sleep, starting with bedtime, implementing that through the entire night for any wakings. And again, remember, anything before 6 a.m. is going to be considered a middle of the night waking. So that's where it turns into a middle of the night waking regarding a sleep crutch versus an early morning waking. Now, as if that wasn't confusing enough, I'm going to break it down for you. So basically, we're focusing on, are they overtired? Okay. Are they waking up cranky, ready to party for the day, not falling back asleep? Are they undertired, meaning they're happy, they're content, they're just chilling in there till you come get them? Those two issues are schedule focused, okay? That is when you're going back, looking at the day. What can you change? Do you need to fix the last wake window before bed, or do you need to remove daytime sleep, okay? That is the overtired, undertired. Or is it the sleep environment? They go to bed independently, they sleep through the night, they're waking up and something's distracting them. That's the easiest fix, right? You go in, you adjust the room, good to go. Last but not least, they can't do it independently. They truly do not know how to put themselves back to sleep during those early morning wakings. They're used to you coming in. They're used to something that you're providing for them that they cannot do themselves. And that is where you need to focus on teaching independent sleep so that they are able to wake up during that light time of sleep and put themselves back down. Early morning wakings are, like I said, the most common. We work with people all the time. It is one of our top topics when it comes to helping people meet their sleep goals. So if this was completely overwhelming for you and you don't even know where to begin, we can definitely help you, guide you through it, break it down for you, and identify why your early morning wakings are happening and help you fix them. All right, and next episode, we have a very special guest. He doesn't even know it yet. We will be bringing on the well-rested dad, Jeffrey Walker himself, and we are just going to talk through dad life with him, parenting, maybe marriage, and just his view on all of this, and it'll be fun. Make sure you are following us on Instagram. We will be posting a question box for Jeff. You guys can ask him anything and everything you would like to know, and we will be sure to answer those next time. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Give this video a like if you found it helpful, or share with a friend. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and we'll see you next time.